What do people need to stop romanticizing?
Celebrities, being famous.
Sleep deprivation, overworking yourself.
Toxic relationships.
Yeah, thank you, Lana Del Rey lol. But no, seriously, I fell into that. I can rescue this almost 40-year-old unemployed alcoholic with serious mental health issues. When I was 19 and boy, it was not pretty. Edit. Lol guys, I am not blaming Lana for my abusive relationship. Her music was not out yet when it happened. I was just making an ironic joke and worded it poorly. Good luck to y'all though. It is really sad to see so many people had to go through that. I hope you guys found peace and life is treating you well. Cheers. D. Lords.
Yeah, actually all violent psychopathic people. D. Lords. Serial killers. Bonnie and Clyde. Girls who definitely murdered people but are kind of pretty, so the media does their best to show both sides. Edit. Based on replies. Throwing in mob bosses, hit men, and school shooters. Edit 2. Changed psychotic to psychopathic as I mixed the two terms up. They are different, and the difference matters.
Self-harm, it's seriously effed up and there are people with a serious issue. Self-harm is jot cute or quirky or aesthetic.
I grew up pre-internet and self-harmed. I honestly had no idea other people did that and was deeply ashamed, always trying to hide it and cover it up. Now people make it seem like it's a cool thing to do. I just find that incredibly disturbing.
Jealousy. You know what's hot? Trust.
Abusive relationships. Like stalking your love interest, partner, drama all the time, bad communication and misunderstandings, trying to invoke jealousy, obsessiveness. It's not romantic, it's creepy.
I'm confused. You just described the plot of several rom-coms.
The Mafia.
I had an absolute fascination with the Italian mob and mobsters for a very long time. Then I watched something on PBS about the first Sicilians to come to New York. They would shake down Italian people, kidnap their kids for ransom and sometimes kill them. Spell broken.
Serial killers.
And putting details of what they did all over the media, giving them additional fame. A comic I can't recall the name of said, "I know more about Ted Bundy than I know about my family."
Attractive people doing harmful things. People shouldn't get a pass to do toxic and rude things simply because they're attractive. Why do I see serial killers and toxic partners get romanticized simply because they're hot? Why does that make their horrible actions somehow badass and charismatic?
Back when the Boston Marathon bombing happened, one of my friends on FB started posting a bunch of pictures of one of the bombers, talking about how she would have dreams about him and how obsessed she was with him. I straight up blocked her after the second or third time because I couldn't get over how messed up that was. Dude killed and maimed multiple people. His objective attractiveness became absolutely null at that point. People dropping all their own goals and interests for someone else. Yes, the plot of standard rom-com.
This is so true. My sister got her first boyfriend when she was 18. Despite being good at school and almost graduating, she dropped out, and decided to start working to help her boyfriend out with his band. Now she's 23. They broke up. It's so idiotic.
My roommate frequently works late, and while I sympathized with her at first, I soon discovered she seemed to enjoy the drama of being exhausted, disliking her employer, believing the office needs her, and so on. She's been staying late lately, until midnight or later, and then returning to work by 7 a.m. The entire workplace is in a rush to reach a deadline, but she was furious the other night when a coworker refused to stay past 7 p.m. The coworker was a woman who had recently given birth to a child, was exhausted, and hadn't seen her child in a long time. Her roommate had no sympathy for her and was enraged that her coworker had departed so early. "What are you talking about, roommate?" However, she earns a 6-figure salary, so perhaps the money is worth it to her.
I had a coworker, Jean, who would brag about all the hours she worked, how she was calling into the office when she was in labor how late she stayed at the office, etc. The reality was she wasn't that great of a worker, she was inefficient, had no idea how to properly delegate, was not open to suggestions on how to improve her workflow, would withhold info so others couldn't help her. She may have worked hard, but she sure as hell didn't work smart. Eventually, she became ill and went on medical leave. She wasn't missed. She eventually resigned due to her illness. Within a couple of months of her departure, people were like, "Jean who?" It was eye-opening for me for sure and really forced me to re-evaluate my work-life balance.
OCD. It's not quirky or funny when I'm late for work because I had to back upstairs to check that the gas stove is off for the 15th time because I can't stop envisioning the whole building blowing up. I literally stand frozen to the spot trying to fight the urge to go back when I know I checked, but the intrusive thoughts are too upset to deal with. OCD isn't cute and quirky and being organized. For me, it's believing that people will die if I don't check again. Edit. Thanks for the awards, kind internet strangers. I hope you didn't spend monies on it. You all deserve good things in life. Edit 2. So many people are commenting, but it's hard to keep up. I'm sorry if I don't reply. Everyone is individual and no two experiences are exactly the same. Please don't let my comment panic you if you think you have OCD. Talking to something who can help is the best way forward.
Eating disorders. As someone who has been trying to recover from one for the past 10 years, the romanticization and stereotypes of this mental illness really deters those suffering from him from recovering and encourages the idea you're not sick enough to get help or that only two of them exist, deserve help.
Pro Anna Poo really bugs me. It was hell being married to someone with anorexia and exercise bulimia for 10 years, and then I see people glorifying that life and I just want to scream. That poo destroyed my life. Being a partner to someone with an eating disorder is really tough and I didn't cope very well. Even if you have your own psychological poo together, which I didn't, it can be impossible to cope. And this is just me talking about it from the outside. I know she had it worse because part of the hell was watching her own self-hatred eat at her. It was holding her as she cried in bed for an entire week straight because her mom told her she had love handles the first day of our vacation when she was just starting to feel okay with herself at an okay weight. Watching as she ran for 2 hours every day, rain, snow, sleet, hail, or 100 degrees weather when her knee was bad because she couldn't get the compulsion out of her head. So yeah, F anyone that glorifies eating disorders.
Having followers. Edit. Please stop following me lol.
There is a very big taboo problem in America today that society isn't ready to deal with. Which is parents exploiting the poo out of their kids on social media. And sometimes, the reasons that these kids are getting followers is pretty dark. Overworking. My coworkers tend to make it a competition to see who can make the most sacrifices for their career. Who puts in the most overtime hours? Who does things off the clock for work more? Etc. It's bullpoo. I have a life and a family I want to prioritize.
The only reward the best coal shoveler gets is a bigger shovel.
Hustle culture. I don't understand why it's cool to always be busy and dedicating all your waking hours to making money. When do you get to enjoy your time if you are always stressed out?
Back in my Facebook days, I had a friend who was in real estate that would brag about hustling, even while vacation. Her posts consisted of her laptop by the beach resort.
War.
Only the dead have seen the end of war.
Poverty. You read articles like, "Hero mom works 3 jobs to pay for the treatment for his sick son." That's not right, that shouldn't happen.
Depression. Edit. Whoa, didn't know this would blow up. My first ever blown up comment and the first to receive awards. Thank you, kind strangers.
Agreed. Depression isn't writing poetry and being mysterious. It can be not leaving your house for weeks, not showering, forgetting to eat or overeating. IMO. Worst of all is the distance you create between you and others. It's hard to back from a bad episode. Edit. I really don't want this to sound like I am gatekeeping. We all have variations of how depression impacts us and how we cope. My point is that depression isn't what the media portrays. Also, I have never felt more understood reading all of your replies. Thank you for sharing.
The gangster lifestyle and all that it entails. I grew up in Oakland and have witnessed far too many of the people I grew with get caught up in the game. Roughly half of the guys from my former neighborhood are either serving life sentences or were killed. I grew up in the 80s, but it's even worse now.
Maybe too much of a tangent, but why do you think people glorify it so much? Particularly those that have nothing to do with it.
Special needs and disabilities in kids. My son is special needs, and the way people romanticize it and make it sound like he's so lucky to have it and what a time to be alive, and all that poo pisses me off so much. He's a great kid, I make damn sure he's got a great quality of life, but he's never going to have a normal life, and there's nothing cute, quirky or romanticizable about that.
Mental illness is a serious condition. Having one does not make you cool, unique, or insightful. It's a disaster.
The people who romanticize mental illness are those who don't suffer from it, 80% of the time.
Mental illness, especially for younger people. When I was in high school and college, I had so many people say poo like, "You're bipolar, have OCD, PTSD? That's so cool, I wish I was special. Bro, if I can trade with you I would do it without a second thought. Being not special is all I aspire to be. Poo ain't sweet over here. My life is a constant game of waiting for the other shoe to drop while off of medication. Which is expensive as F. I remember opening up to my ex about my ed and he says, "You know, I kinda went for girls like that in high school. They were skinny and needed someone to help them love themselves. Made me feel like I was doing a good thing. Problematic on so many levels. People are people, not projects. Don't look at them as a task or something to be fixed. I understand wanting to help someone, but make that poo genuine, not doing it to feel like a good person." The same goes for people that like dating severely depressed people. That's predatory behavior. I've met many young people that do it because those people just want to be loved and are willing to do anything to keep you around. In middle school I knew people that self-harmed, not in the form of an ed, and another group of people that wish they were brave enough to self-harm. The ones that self-harmed and were in relationships would do poo like cut their BFGF name into their skin as a symbol of their love. There was this guy who cut Melissa for life into his calf. I, even at 13, thought that was effing insane and that he needed help. But I kept it to myself because everyone else was swooning over how much pain he was willing to go through just so everyone knew Melissa had his heart and body for life. I thought I just didn't understand love, and the crazy things it makes you do. Just stop. Mental illness is not cute, romantic, or funny.
Suicide, especially in the music industry. Just because someone puts out a mediocre album and then dies, doesn't make them a legend. As someone with a father who is mentally ill, it sickens me to see how glamorized it is. It's a routine at this point. Some artists are exception to this because they made some really amazing music. But nowadays it seems like a trend.
Still trying after being rejected or being told no.
Oh no, the times I was asked why I didn't keep trying and fight for them. Girl, I just asked you out, not challenged you to a duel.
Joker and Harley Quinn. That's a toxic as F relationship.
Living in a castle. It was cold, damp, full of rats and other pests. No indoor plumbing, people were filthy. I could go on.
Sex. I mean, yes, sex is amazing, but we have put it on such an insanely high pedestal it's basically a superhuman experience. Almost every show, movie, piece of art somehow relates back to sex and like seriously I do love it, but there is more to life. Edit for grammar. Also super glad to see people agree with me. Kind of restorative to humanity that people see more in life than purely sex, as great as it is.
I think as a brown person, brown people need to stop romanticizing physical abuse from parents. In my experience it was really traumatic and messed me up. No, it shouldn't be relatable to get beaten by a broom. Because I actually did. Edit, this thread is kinda ironic, also I didn't mean to say this only happens to brown people. I just emphasized it because it's often more culturally normalized here.
The past in general. Life wasn't better back in the day.
Thank you for watching. We upload new videos every day, so be sure to come back for more fun. Please consider liking and subscribing if you enjoyed the video.